Hey, welcome back to the Pike Homestead. My name is Adam, and today I'm working on closing up the last few spots of the chicken run so that we can have the chickens kept in this area. So you might be wondering, well, you probably guessed what I've been doing with the string and a stick and my panels here. So, as you know, these are movable panels, and I'm checking where my swing is if I want to actually get it to line up. And it's actually not too far off. Like, I can shift this one just a little bit and lop off the feet and just push this one over. But I'm not sure if that's what we want to do. We may want to take that whole one and move it so it's kind of running straight up to the fence back there for the pen right out back of the barn. And just have it be one continuous fence kind of down this way. And then build up a separating fence once we're at a point where we need to do that for the chickens. And I think I'm liking that idea better. It'll be a little bit more movement and work, and then building the next chicken fence will be a little bit more work, but I think that might be worth it overall. But the biggest thing we want to get done is have the chickens kind of enclosed in here, because we want to start running electrical around the rest of the corral system here to get my pig friends and the goats running free and grazing the grass there rather than stuck in just their little pen. We want to take advantage of it all because we also got our next set of pigs coming. We've got our breeders showing up in the next couple of weeks here. And we want to have a pen system set up where they can be in and experience an electrical fence in a safe spot, because what we've been told is that if a pig hits an electrical fence and there's nothing behind it, chances are good they're going to run through it and then be loose. Whereas in our pens here with the solid fencing, they can hit the electrical wire and not be able to go through it and learn to respect it, so that we can put them out anywhere with an electrical wire around them. And that's going to be the goal, to train them up to that. But to do that, we want to have the chickens locked up so they're not tripping the electric fence all the time. So anyway, tell me what you think. Let us know if you think that's a good idea. I think I'm going to end up cutting off the feet off this one so we can line them up closely. I'll probably have to cut one of the braces off the other one because they are going to overlap. I don't want to be swinging it out to a point. Well, maybe I do, because I want to have a gate on this side to be able to get in. So maybe I do want to just have that one running and then have this one open so we can set up a gate system to get things like pigs in here to eat the grass once it gets too long for the chickens. Because chickens will eat grass, but generally not stuff that's too long. So, I don't know. Tell me what you think. I think we're going to want to have at least a person gate or something that we can funnel pigs or goats in here, because once it's chicken proof, it's going to be goat proof. And get them in here and using up all the grass and making use of our assets. So let us know down below, what would you do? Would we just make it solid and just have the one gate for me to get in on this side? Or would you have a gate on this side for access? I know what my neighbors would say. They'd say more gates are a good thing. Access is handy. I think that's probably what I'm going to do, but we're going to see how it rolls out and how hard it is. So, why don't you come along and see what we do. Alright, so I'm in the small section here, where we've got the metal panels kind of closing up here. If you recall from the video where we were moving these mobile panels in here with the tractor, right here is where the fencing gate was that we pulled up with the tractor. So this presents a couple of challenges with these panels, because of that fence line that was running along there. There is a very definite change in the dirt, in the ground level, to about a couple of inches. So up here it's a lot higher, but right down here, like along where these panels are, there's a significant drop down of a couple inches. Like this panel here is actually held up with some rocks under the foot just over here to keep it stable because of the shift. So there's this whole square here up and the run up beside the barn where there's there's an inch or two difference in the ground level, which makes it a little challenging for putting these things out here and having them sit properly. We probably will have cows up here at some point this year, and so to have this fully, as secure as possible, then I'd want to have them matching up some way, because I can always build a gate into the wood panels, right? Like there's metal bars kind of inconveniently placed on these ones for walking through, but it's something I can put a frame on and put a gate in that I can get through at least, and just have a big gate on this side if we need to get the mower in or anything like that. But it would make it more difficult to get animals in, which is another hill we'll have to climb. Anyway, I'm going to get this measured up and see where it overlaps, or if I can shift it in a way that makes sense, that keeps everything as stable as possible, and we'll go with that. All right. So, after getting some measurements, despite pigs eating things, still works. It didn't bend it at all. It's all good. There's going to be about 10 feet of overlap on the panels if I just run them straight across. And I don't know if I like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure, get my stick and string again and kind of see about swinging this out this way, and see if I can't kind of match them up. Guys, eating my chainsaw. Hey! Come on, you! Trying to work here, boys. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Hey, off of that. Off of that. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Good job, boys. It's nice working conditions. Sometimes, your coworkers are a little bit annoying. So part of the challenge we've had with moving this, and why it isn't flush up against the barn already, because we did try, was that the wood at the bottom was coming almost right to the ground. And so when we're trying to push it and slide it in and do those nice finicky finishing, kind of touches, it was catching, and we could only push it so far, and then the dirt stops it. So my way around that with doing the finishing on all the other ones that I needed to, was to just take my chainsaw and cut a bit off the bottom so it's got a bit of clearance above the ground. The downside is then, if it's a little too high, chickens can get under it, so that's something that I then have to patch up. But I have the wood paneling to be able to do it, and I don't have a problem doing it. It doesn't take very long. But getting it into the best possible position, I think, is the more important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my chainsaw. I'm going to trim off the boards along the bottom here, give myself a couple inches so that I could slide it up and get the bar and the corner of the barn meshed up nicely here. Definitely wears on your arms when you're not used to doing this. Woo! But it looks like they're really high here, but this is actually a part where the pigs had dug out. And up here the ground is pretty high, like it's right up to the bottom of these boards. Oh. Anyway, I will keep doing this, and we'll see how it looks when I'm done. Pig. enjoying some shady downtime. Yeah, it's getting to the hot part of the day now, isn't it, boys? I might have to stop my work up the top. So yeah, it's starting to get a little hot. I've got, I cut the whole thing on the panel, got all that cut up, and it's ready to move. But it's also getting to the hot part of the day here, which you don't want to be out like you're, well, I'm sweating just standing still. It's fairly muggy here today. And yeah, we had some rainfall last night, which is great, but it makes for, some humid air, which makes it sweaty and gross as you try to do any other work. So I think I'm going to take a break for now and get back to the heavy lifting when it's a little cooler, either this evening or tomorrow morning. So we will see you then. Hey everyone, so it's actually a couple of days later here as we've been busy with stuff, and I'm back out to take a look at these panels. So yeah, I thought I'd try to figure out how to get these things moved. I think I'm probably gonna have to bring the truck up again, but then I got to be able to get it in here to do the moves I want to do. So let me just show you a little bit about what we want to do here and how I have to move it. So ideally up here, I want this up to the corner of the barn, right? So I've got the space. I mean, I might have to cut that board a little bit, but if we can get it so it's meshed right up to the corner here, then that would make me very happy. But the problem with that is that at this point I can't get it to move anymore up here, even with the cuts. I just can't get the lift on it myself to get it to move. So, I mean, I might be able to get, like, if Caroline came out and helped, then we'd possibly be able to get it, but I think it'll just be easier to get the truck up. But the problem with that is here. So I've already started shifting this a little bit, but the only reason it's sliding easily is because if you see here, the feet are actually over top of one another, so the top one can slide real easy. So I'm hoping to kind of run it straight out here, so from the corner, and just have it run straight out from the barn, and then just move this one over and see, if I can get, anywhere from like a 3 to 4 foot gap in between the two to build a fence on it or build a gate on it. That would be perfect. Now another problem here, again, as I've said, is the ground is the different in height on the ground. So up here, where it used to be a cattle run, chicken, it's a little bit higher than down here. If you look I've actually got this propped up with rocks. So I was kind of hoping to get more of that full leg up on the higher ground, which I might be able to do. Might make a little bit of a funky angle when I get the gate put on there, but I think, like, if I can push it, if I can push it in that way and get more of that foot up on the higher ground, then it will just make it more stable overall. Yeah, so anyway, these are the challenges I'm dealing with today. I think, I've got this about as moved as far as I can, so I'm going to get the truck and actually pull this one out so I can try to get the truck in there to push it up to the corner here, and then get this kind of straightened out, and then see where I need to cut, if I need to cut any of the feet off or anything to get them to kind of line up together. Because again, this one up by the barn isn't going to be, or shouldn't be, in direct connection with cattle who might push it or shove it or push it around or anything. So it won't need the stability of the legs. So even if I just cut it either to the triangles or completely off, because we've got the one down the bottom there that doesn't have the 1 foot on the one side, and it's fine, especially as it's strapped to the other one. But yeah, if I can get those kind of lined up in a way that gives me a decent sized gate, so if we want to get anything in, or if I need to get the mower in or something like that, I mean, I could probably get it up at the other side, but I like to have the options. But if it's not going to work out and I just need to kind of put them together, then that's what I'll do. But I'd like to at least have a gate here. So anyway, I'm going to go grab the truck and see about moving these things and see if I can get the truck in there, and we'll go from there. So, with all the time I took cutting the boards on this fence, I didn't do it on this one, and you can see it's pulled some of the boards off, which is also going to make it difficult to get it up. And it was also placed so tightly on this end. It was placed perfectly, really. We're starting to break into one of the boards that I had put on to fill in the gaps. Because I just didn't really think about it. I can always replace that board. That won't be too hard. But yeah, I am going to have to trim the bottoms off of these. And yeah, so I'm going to get working on that and get this thing a little bit more movable. One more time, let's get this going. All right, so for pushing this one, I don't have the room on the direction I want it to go. So using the strap and pulling it isn't really going to be feasible, I don't think. Not to get it the direction I want it to go. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to back it right up onto the back bumper where the toe connection is. It's a nice strong point, and just gently kind of shove it back. I did that a bit to finish up down there with the other ones we moved, so I'm going to try to get that to work here, and we'll see how it goes. Look, I have company. Well, the work area just got a lot more beautiful. Hey, you. Oh, you got your skirt on? Hey, cutie. How you doing, Mom?
All right.
Good.
Can't see, the sun is right behind you.
That's okay, you're well lit.
I don't know if that's good. Look at the mess you made.
I know. It's what I do. All right, let's take a look at what we've got here. So, it's pretty good. I don't think I can get it much closer. And just the slant of the ground is why it's so far away at the top, and it's close at the bottom, I mean. But I don't know if I can push it that much closer. Maybe I'll give that a shot, just because I'm a perfectionist jerk. But as we've been looking at it, we've figured, seeing it here like this and like that, I'm not necessarily going to straighten this up anymore to make the small pen, and the small pen isn't our concern to get fully closed up at this point. But we're thinking, because one of the things we wanted to do was be able to get the goats and pigs in here as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to swing this one back so that it's in line with the post here. So this post right here, that's where the gate swings open. So that we can just have it, chicken, closed in, but be able to open up for the goats and the pigs to come out and graze as well to help control the grass in here. That just makes a lot of sense. Like, it's a lot shorter of a fence to build to kind of close it up. So, you know, I'm gonna be what, just a, oh, look at that, that's what, 3 feet? Yeah, it's about 3 feet. So, you know, that's fire code opening size for a large crowd. So so I can make a gate there that's chicken proofed, and then we'll just see how they do here, because typically chickens, you know, you can have a 4-foot fence, like a mesh fence, and they won't try to hop over it. Now what we've seen in our barn is anywhere we have, you know, like, because this is sitting about 5 feet, and I know they can jump up that high and perch on some of the fences and stuff for the pens in the barn. We've seen them do that. So what I might do is just strap a bit more mesh on top here so they don't have a solid landing point. And that should be chicken proof. And then it's just fencing up the gap between that panel and this fence. And this fence post right there. And then we'll and I'll make it a little bit smaller, a little bit less gate and fence building that I have to do to get the entire area closed in, and then we can work on doing a separate run later when we're going to need it. So yeah, I'm happy with that kind of solution here. So I've just got to get this fence kind of moved and get it back in line there, and we go from there. So I think probably gonna have to go outside and push it back in, because once it swings closed, I'm not gonna have the room to get the truck out. So I might be able to pull it part way, but I think it's gonna be a push. Okay. Because it's made of straw.
Hold on, I gotta save the brush from the cake. Hey! Come back with my broom! Where are you taking Hi, Dad!
Hi. The pigs have stolen Caroline's broom.
Yeah.
Are you a broom thief? That's right, scratch your butt.
Silly pig pig! Silly pig pig! Hey pig pig! Come here, let me scratch you. Let me scratch you.
Mom, you have
So is he trying to steal your broom?
They stole my broom. Black one was carrying it off.
All right, so I've pushed it back a bit. Let's see how tight we got. That's pretty good. It was an inch or two, so it's not going to go much further. So the rest of that I can just use chicken mesh to lock that up when we need to. What do you think? Chicken? Yeah, gonna have to mesh that up too. All right, so now it's lining up this other one. So now we've got, this is almost perfect, but with all the moving back and forth, this end has slid away. So you remember how close that was? It was actually breaking that board up there. It was so close. But now we are, I don't know, 10 inches away. Still, I gotta figure out how to get that moved. That's gonna be fun. All right, so the challenge we've got is getting this part of the fence lined up. After swinging it back and forth, it's moved away, which, given the way we're moving it, and well, there's no easy way to resolve it, at least with the animals out. My first thought was to put the strap around this fence post here, but as with so many of them on the farm here, it's not so stable anymore. So if I put the strap around it to pull the metal panel into place, it's just going to pop right out. But, and this goes back to what I've been talking about, having more gates is better, I do have a solution. So we've got the pen here where we keep the pigs and goats right now, right? So, and I've got the gate right here, and I've also got another gate right over there. So we've, enticed the goats and pigs back into the barn and closed the door. They're having a light snack, and I'm going to open up those gates because they're big enough for the truck to get through. And then I'm going to strap on down there and just pull it flush. So I'm going to strap on back there and pull it flush with that post, and then maybe try to swing it. If I need to adjust here, I'll be able to, and then go back through these bigger gates and out and get it all locked up and goat and pig proof again. And yeah, that will work, and it will also give us much easier access for the animals in winter and everything. So if we want to let them out into this run, it will be goat and pig proof because it's going to be chicken proof. So yeah, we're actually happy with how this has kind of evolved as we're taking a look at it here. And that's the fun part about projects like this. Like, you never quite know, like, you have a basic idea on what you want to do, but you're not quite sure exactly how it's going to play out until you start moving the pieces around and seeing what works best. And I think this is going to be a really good one, a real good solution. And then, it'll just be a matter of patching up this section before we open up a door for the small part of the coop from that wall there. And then we'll have 2 separate little chicken runs. And yeah, so then it's just, once that's done, it's just building that small, I'll probably just put a man gate there, just for us to kind of get through from that side. Although it won't be necessary, I could probably just run some boards over and put chicken mesh across and, get 9 feet of chicken mesh. Just so they're not flying up to my top rail, right? And then that will be closed. And kind of similar height to what these fence panels are. All right, so I'm going to open up gates, get the truck through, and get things adjusted. Come on, pigs. There we go, piggies. Anybody? thanks for spending your time with me today. I think next video we will be building the gates and finally closing this up. I'm really excited by that. So again, tell me what you think. How do you think how it's going? Like how we've kind of evolved the plan here and what we're doing. And let us know what you think and let us know what you'd like to see, because we can still put stuff in. So comment down below. Make sure you like and subscribe. Get your friends and family following us. We could really use the help. Thank you so much. And yeah, we will see you next time. And here's a goodbye from Chip.